Hi, who are you and where are you from?
Hi, I'm Stephen Tanguay from Searsport, Maine.
And you own a business here.
Yes, my wife and I and our family created a campground about 30 years ago. So this is our 28th, 29th season. We're just finishing up, and it's November 2nd, 2022.
And how have you seen climate changes since you were younger?
Well, here on the Gulf of Maine, it's probably some of the fastest changing saltwater body in the world, the Gulf of Maine is. And my grand Well, my friend's grandfather was an ice cutter. He used to cut ice right out here on the bay. This is Penobscot Bay. This is the head of Gulf of Maine. We haven't seen ice in a long time, however. We are seeing a healthier bay in the sense that we have more feeder fish. We see a lot of little bait fish in the intertidal zone, different fish than we've seen before, but it is much warmer. I've gardened all my life, and I can tell you that by third week of September, we always had a pretty heavy frost. That's why we have our agricultural fairs in September. Now my garden is still pickable. I'm picking peas, snow peas, Swiss chard, kale, and it survived this. So we have a much longer growing season, which is great if you love to garden, but it's a little scary.
Wow. And any other changes recently? What
We're
about?
seeing,
Go ahead.
well, we're seeing different insects, seeing different birds, a few more red squirrels, definitely more invasive plants, land plant. And I don't know if this is climate related or not, but we've had a big crash in our mussel population. And I do a lot of clam digging. The shells on our clams, at least in this area, have become softer and they're easily more breakable, or they are more breakable. So you have to be a little more careful when you dig for the steamer clams.
Wow. Now, what do you see coming for the future? Do you think more of the same, or and is there anything we can do about it?
Well, big question. Uh, the trend here is that the state is prepared. The farmers in the state are preparing for irrigation, and we've never had that discussion before. In that we're looking at considered and many farmers are considering that we may have longer dry spells, which has never been an issue in the state of Maine that I'm aware of. So many people are talking about irrigation in the future of their farmland. Um, Other changes here, we've had more sharks visiting the waters of southern Maine. That's a very new thing. We haven't had any sharks up here in Penobscot Bay, at least the head of the bay, but in the southern part of the bay, I believe we have. So we're seeing some different fish come to the bay as well.
Are you doing anything, or do you think we should be doing anything more from the government level, or what do you think can be done about this, or do we all have to just adapt?
Well, this state, the state of Maine, is one of the most forested states in the country. If you take a walk around the campground here, we have one of the largest old oak groves along the coast of Maine. So we're trying to do our part as far as tree foliage. We harvest a lot of seaweed. That's how we feed our gardens, and just try to live kind of smart like our grandparents and great grandparents did.
And do you think the federal government and the UN or anybody that should do more about this? The UN, the reason I mentioned the UN, they declared it a climate crisis. But
Well,
but anything that the government can do, or cooperative
the
governments
first
around the world?
maybe get I don't know, except to get involved with the Amazon, with the president of Brazil, and maybe slow down the defoliation of the Amazon rainforest.
Very
For a
good.
starter.
Very good. Well, thank you very much for this. And we are here on what town is nearby here?
So we have Searsport.
Okay.
Belfast is just south of us. Across the bay is Maine Maritime Academy. And this is the island of Islesboro right here.
Well, this is amazing. Thank you very much for everything you said. Thank you.
Yeah, you're very welcome.